Okay.
Tina, that's a minute already. You only have 9 left.
That's
No
not true.
way.
Don't
I
scare
have
her.
a lot of slides and I'm sorry if I'm going to be going a
Evil
little
Travis.
fast
Uh,
because I'm going to give, yes, you're evil. I can see you're evil.
8
All
minutes.
right, should I share now? Not happening.
Dina, for your comfort, it is currently on my clock 8:12. You are welcome to begin your presentation now.
Awesome. All right. Hi, everybody. Just give me a quick thumbs up when you guys can see my screen, please. All right. Awesome. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about a new application called Pear Deck, new to me. So this is exactly what happens when you invite students and they're about to start the presentation. You wait until you see how many students are logged on. We're supposed to be 8 now. So if anybody's not logged on, please go ahead and just go onto the link. I'm going to start my class. All right, so this is what I'm seeing versus what you guys are seeing as students. So I'm just gonna go through this a little quickly. So this is just telling you to have two sides to see the teacher's view versus the student's view, and most of you guys are already doing this. Okay, summary. Pear Deck is an interactive presentation tool used to actively engage students in individual and social learning. Teacher install Pear Deck as an add-on app and create presentations on Google Slides or Outlook. The presentations that you create will be on your Google Drive or OneDrive. Awesome news, it's a freemium tool, yet there's a free trial for 90 days where you get premium access. I'm gonna go through this real quick and I'm gonna send this presentation for you guys to go back to it later. So pretty much this is Google Slides. Click on the add-on, then you click on Get Add-ons. You type up Pear Deck, and then this is what's gonna look like. This is what it looks like. You're gonna click on it to install the application. Once the application is installed in the Google Slides or Outlook interface, and you want to utilize it on your Google Slide, you click on Add-ons, go to Pear Deck for Google Slides on, and then open Pear Deck Add-on. This is exactly what's going to happen. This is what's going to look like on the Google Slides. So here, I'm not going to go through this because it's literally endless, but this is a template library that Pear Deck gives you already with tons of options. The kinds of questions that you can embed in your presentations are text, choice, MCQs, where the responses are going to be numbers. You can embed a website. You can draw or color, actually, and then you can drag icons onto an image based on the preference of what the question is. This is another also format for the sharing with the students. So you click here to start your lesson. Click here to fix the settings, and this is a drop-down menu. This is just like a tutorial for you if you're new to it. Click here to publish or share with other teachers if you two want to collaborate on something, if you're working within the same department. Here to allow logins, I'm going to talk about this very soon because it's very important, and review sessions before you go live. So this is what I had to do to start my lesson, and then I sent you the codes. But before I did that, I got to choose. Do I want it to be student-paced or instructor-paced? Today, or right now, we are on the instructor-paced activity. You're seeing what I do based on my commands on the slides. We're going to talk about student-paced activity in a second. This is what comes out, and this is what you guys saw at the beginning of my presentation before I started moving into the slides. You send your students the website, the code, or just get a shareable link, and this is what exactly I sent you guys. So logging in is very important, at least for me, because I'm working with 4th graders, and for lower elementary. You can adjust your presentation setting to allow students to view content and answer questions without a sign-in, yet they will be anonymous and will be given an automated avatar and a nickname. So if you want to get your students' names, they should log in using a Gmail or Outlook, and this is something that middle and high schoolers can do, and probably upper elementary, but parents tend to freak out with that. Or you can just insert a question that says, what's your name, right? And you will get to know who answered what once you get the responses later. It's like you're tricking the system, kind of. Okay, audience, this tool is literally applicable for all age groups, starting from K up to as long as you're willing to sit through an interactive presentation, just like right now. The template library provides different kinds of questions that you can embed in your lesson. Students can use Pear Deck to follow up with you in a live session, which what we're doing right now. Oops, sorry. And share the responses on the spot, or you can set the presentation on student-paced mode to let each kernel pop when it's ready. And this is really good for differentiation. So each student gets to take his or her time to go through the lesson without the stress of time. content areas, literally anything that you can think of. Yet Pear Deck has templates for littles K to 2. That's its title for everybody who's teaching lower grades. Math, science, social studies, languages and English language arts, Rabab and Julie. It has critical thinking and social emotional learning slides that are already there for you, unless you want to do something different. And during your live presentation, and this is a premium tool, yet you can do it now in the free trial, you can drop an immediate question from Pear Deck templates that would allow you to get instant feedback. Like, how are you guys feeling right now? I'll just drop one. I hope we have time to practice this later. So results, you get your responses on an Excel spreadsheet when you end the session. Now, the only thing is that the drawing responses will not show on the Excel sheet, but will show on the teacher's dashboard. You can take screenshots of them, then print them out and have a print-rich classroom environment based on what the kids did, especially if it's in color. Okay, we're gonna interact right now. So you guys should have a question. I just want you to take a look of what I see and what you guys see. Here, I'm so sorry that I went through this. So what's your name is a text-based question, and you're gonna notice that these are the kind of questions that we can input. You're gonna click on it from my side. And then you type up, and the kids get to know that this is a question that they have to type up and answer in. The sentence that says, what's your full name? This is something that I wrote. And you're gonna see the little bubble that says any data that is on the slide is your assessment material. It can be literally anything. It can be shapes, it can be images, it can be text. It also can be video if you want, or GIFs, okay? And add question in form of a text. I got 3 responses. If you guys can go ahead and actually enter, type up your names, please. So we're gonna have a takeaway at the end, and I hope that whoever said something, I can go back and ask them if they need any extra help or whatever. Okay, I'm only getting 4 responses, but anyway, 5.
Tina, real quick question. So I typed my name in the box and I see.
And that's it. Just type it. Don't do enter, do nothing. Just type it up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting 5 responses. Take a look at Zoom right now, you guys, because this is what I see. So I can tell right now, from the teacher's standpoint, Julie wrote her name, Jessica wrote her name, Anastasia, Samiha, Shireen, Kishk. So those are the students who wrote their names. I would probably want other students to tell them, guys, please make sure that we're following up. I'm waiting for like a couple who right now probably did not write their answers yet.
That's me.
Yes, but I'm gonna move. Okay, can we talk about this? Let this happen and like the takeaway. Maybe because your browser is too narrow if you're working on the desktop, right? I'll have to move on because time is really short. But Travis, that's a good thing because we're very limited with time, and probably this is what happens sometimes with students, right?
I got it now. Sorry.
It's fine. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on. All right. So next kind of question is to have a draggable icon. So you guys are going to notice that your question is telling you to drag a heart and put it at the place that you would like to visit, which is on your bucket list. You're going to notice that the map that I've already planted in the slide, it's an image off of Google, and you just insert it regularly on your Google Slides, and then the kids get to drop the icons according to whatever. This is really cool for diagrams and really cool for younger kids. And what the application allows you to also for lower grades, it allows you to have the heart or the icon that you're about to drag in a very tiny, small size, or very big to enhance probably like motor skills for younger students. Okay, and I'm just gonna show you guys the responses here. Okay, so I can tell somebody wants to go to Australia. Some people want to go to Egypt, and someone wants to go to Argentina. I don't know, but probably somewhere in South America. All right. So that's another option. Just going to move on. So I'm sorry if I'm not giving someone room to answer along my pace. This is a math question that says, it is 12 o'clock in Cairo. Travis lives in Singapore, and he is ahead of Cairo's own time by 8 hours. Rabab lives in Mauritius and she's behind Singapore time by 4 hours. What time is it in Mauritius, right? So now it's a math word problem that really enhances literacy, and the kids get to read and think aloud of what they're doing while responding. You're gonna notice that on this slide, I added a text and I added an image, and the answer is only supposed to be a number. So you're restricting the students with what they're supposed to answer. And you're gonna notice the responses. Okay, just 1 second. Is that it? Okay, so you see someone said 4, someone said 5, someone said trillion, 8 trillion something. All right. And I'm gonna move on. Asma and Shireen, you guys are gonna love this because kids get to color. Like I inserted, this is a drawing question. The kids get to color the square or color the circle, and this is awesome. Like for younger kids, right? You tell them that they get to color whatever they want. And all I did as a teacher, I just inserted shapes. Now, obviously, if you want to get like a black or white image off the internet and place it as their coloring activity during your lesson, that would work perfectly. All right. And the responses for you are going to be like this. So see, somebody colored perfectly. Let's see what happened here. So these are the results that I'm getting from the students. Okay. And someone did a beautiful red heart in the middle. Was not following the instructions, but that's fine. This is just a very basic grammar question. It's a multiple choice question. And can you please just answer to show you how it logs on, how it views to you as a teacher? 10 minutes. I'm gonna blast through the next part, you guys. So you're gonna notice that 2 students already answered it correctly. Also, what I've noticed when I did this with my students, that as I was talking and I said what the correct answer was, they went back and checked the right answer. So it's kind of flexible and gives the students the freedom to kind of like revise and confirm their responses later on, which is also an amazing tool. Again, sorry, moving on. Now, I'm not gonna have you guys answer those, but I'm just gonna go through them. This is an example of what I did yesterday with my kids. We were working with strong voice. They read passage 1, very little voice, passage 2, full of very strong voice, and the kids read it on Zoom, and then they answered it, and then we discussed it. And this is just a regular MCQ question. Jessica, this is the example that I was telling you about, and I inserted an image, and this is a text question. And this is a full-on reading passage. But what I did on the slides, I covered the rest of the text with white boxes and white rectangles. So I'm only allowing the kids to focus only on the first part and tell me their voice based on this. And then the next question, I added a little bit more to get them to think of little chunks instead of throw them out there in the water with so many things to pay attention to, especially with my weaker kids. And then the final part, which is gonna be down here, it's like totally different than the voice of the author in the first and the second paragraph. So kids really get to compare between what's happening and follow up with you as a teacher, one step at a time. Real quick, I jumped into persuasive. I'm just giving you guys an idea of how I implemented it. The topic was, imagine the government removed the lockdown during coronavirus, during your spring break, but the coronavirus is still there. Would you stay at home or would you go out? Please provide your opinion with 2 reasons. So here, this is a kind of a slide where the kids get to drag their opinion and then you can tell them. So can you guys actually go through this? And I'll share my responses with you to know what students are responding and saying. You're just gonna have this big blue ball, drag it to disagree or to agree. And mind you, every single icon that is on this slide is text or images. Like this red circle is text, this white background grid is an image, the text is just text. And I can already see here that 2 people agreed to just go out. And then I have 4 students or 5 students who said, no, Ms. Dina, we're not gonna go out, we'd rather stay at home, which is also another perfect thing. We can print this out later on and just place it in the classroom if we're working with a persuasive unit. Last but not least, even though the drawing tool is created for you to color or draw, you can also input text. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to freely put the text in any place on the slide. And this is what I did. Everything that is done here is hand typed. The T is just a screenshot of the T to have the students, especially lower elementary or upper elementary, to focus with me as a teacher and to give me reason 1, reason 2. What's awesome about this is in my dashboard later on, I can look at the different answers. If you take a look at Zoom, you're gonna look at the different answers that I get from my students, okay? And I can kind of track their progress as they're going. Okay, last 2 slides. So this is a premium account feature, you guys, again, for the 90 days. This is what's gonna look like, and I can show you later after the session how we can do this. But this pretty much is the Excel sheet that gives you exactly every single response from the student. I know the font is super tiny. Slide 1 is where I ask them what's their name. But obviously, if they were to log on with their emails, it's going to be already there. But this is just the slide that I added to know that Malak, for example, gave me these answers and not just another person. Last but not least, can you just write 1 minute? I know I won't be above time. Just 1 minute. If everybody can just like give me their takeaway from the lesson, I would really appreciate it. And then I'll tell you goodbye at the end. But just 1 more minute, Jessica. I know you're going to kill me. 2 minutes. Extra, it's 14 minutes. Let's see how many responses. I got 7 responses. Okay. All right. 30 more seconds and we're stopping. And if you want to drop a question here as well so we can carry out the conversation later, I'm more than happy. I'm going to send you this presentation so you guys can follow through with anything that you want. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. I'm done.
Thank you, Dina. Yay.
Sorry,
'Can I
14
clap here?
minutes and
Can I
30
give you a clap?
seconds.
Woo!
Please, 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm so sorry. I know I was like talking super fast, but sorry. Okay.
Okay, I want to say something about just the time limit and the time crunch, because you know from me saying yesterday that I struggle with time limitations. I know in my professional life that practicing that is very important, because you're going to, like, I can see from this group that you are going to go on and be leaders in your school. You're going to be sharing ideas. You're going to be guiding teachers to the best practices. And so having this practice of doing a presentation in a limited time is really good. It's really good. So thank you. There was a lot of content there, Dina. I appreciate how you put it together.
Thank you.
All right. So
Can I ask a question before we move on? Is there time for
Absolutely.
questions?
Yeah.
Dina, I want to ask you something.
I'm ready. Ask Jessica.
Yeah. Can I set up this presentation and send it to my students, and then they answer it at their own time, as you said, and then they send it back, or how? Like,
Yes, that's the student pace mode. And that's what I said at the beginning. You have to set it up before sending out the link if you want. And actually, like, for example, now we did the live interaction, right? What I can do is turn on the student mode pace and just drop the link on whatever LMS you're using at your school, and they get to redo it if they want. And what I told my students yesterday during the Zoom session, whoever was not there just missed out on my instruction, live instruction, but they get to go through the same everything. You know what I mean? So
and you record your voice along the presentation. You're recording what you want them to do.
No. I'm just sending it to them. If I want to send my voice as I was introducing it during Zoom, I'm just going to send them Zoom like Jessica does. Like either send them an audio file or send them the Zoom video for them to follow up with me. You understand what I mean?
Not really. Like, I want to record a certain audio on each slide to elaborate what I want them to do. Can I do that?
You can, because you can just drop a video or drop an audio, but that's a Google Slides like option. It's just like regular basic use of slides and PowerPoint. Yeah.
That's excellent. I had not thought about that, Samiha. I wouldn't have
Clever.
I wouldn't have gone to that next step of including the visual instructions on each slide. So that's great. Dina, did you say that you are going to put it on student mode, so anybody who wants to go back and just kind of play with it, they can see what it's like to interact with as a student?
Yeah, definitely. They're just going to see the same exact thing that we presented, but they have their own, they can go by their own pace. The questions are still going to be there. So it's still interactive, but there's the teacher's guidance, as I've said. But Samiha, what Samiha said is awesome, actually, if she wants to leave like little annotated comments per slide. Yeah, I'll just open it. But as of now, because I didn't want you guys to access the material prior to me presenting it, then I just left it off, and then I kept it as teacher mode, and then I would switch at the end.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
okay. As we switch over to Travis, what do we need to do to be ready for your presentation?
You just need an extra device handy, like a phone or anything, if you have it. If not, it's all right.
Okay, so Travis, you're starting, right? I'll mute.
Yes.
Again.
Did you have a question, Esma?
I thought Tom next, so I was prepared. So I'll relax now and switch on my mobile again.
Okay.
Oh, because she was next on the list.
Next
so
on
if
the
you,
list.
If you, I don't care, so it's up to you. If you want to go, Asma, that's fine, because it really doesn't matter. So if you're ready, go.
No, it's okay. We'll stick with it. We just did a running order for today. And so we did Dina, Travis, Shireen, Rabab, and we'll finish up with you, Esma. Does that sound good? Okay.
All right, so everybody ready? We're going to change the pace up from fast talking, lots to cover, to more different game-based thing called Kahoot. So I'm going to take my screen, share it with you. What's going on? I'm sorry. Are you not seeing any of this?
We're seeing your copy of your digital landscape guidelines.
I am not seeing that, so I'm sorry.
I bet if you click on your Kahoot tab, we'll see it.
I can't even get to my Kahoot tab because something's blocking it.
Oh, right.
There we go.
Right.
All right. Okay, let's go to this. So let's learn about Kahoot. As I was looking into this, I know a lot of you already have heard of Kahoot or have done Kahoot, but for me, being a new teacher with my class of 5th graders, I found that they absolutely love Kahoot. And let's go here. So why I chose Kahoot? Kahoot is one of my favorite tools to use. It's an easy, fun, and engaging platform your students will love. Kahoot uses a game-based learning approach to change the way we reach our students of today. Kahoot can be used to create quizzes, discussions, and surveys. Additionally, you can browse through Kahoot to look for pre-made Kahoots as well. What can students do with Kahoot? Students can create their own quizzes. This is a fun way to flip the student learning. The process of creating a quiz helps reinforce information students learned. As a teacher, you can put students into small groups to work together and to create quizzes. This will allow for collaboration and peer teaching that enhances the learning environment. As well, students can participate in their classmates' created quizzes. What can I do with Kahoot? I can start a topic or unit off with a quiz to spark interest. Gauge where students are at before starting a new project like math. I've had to do that. It was great just to kind of get a basis of, where your students are at with maybe 3D objects. Collecting student voice through surveys. Since data can be collected, you can have students participate in a survey to improve your teaching or lesson engagement. And when school is getting too much for your students or yourself, create a brain break or a fun reward. Use a public-made Kahoot, which there are tons of them, and as a reward or brain break in learning. Even with Kahoot, you can even the Kahoot break can be used to improve general knowledge with students. Let's see here. So in a teacher standpoint, then they're great for formative assessments. Use Kahoot as a formative assessment where students can have fun participating in quizzes while learning new information. Collect the data about where students are at with their learning, as well as Kahoot can even collate the data in a downloadable spreadsheet showing if students are struggling with anything in particular. So what I will say from this point here, obviously, I'll let you know in a little bit that there are 3 different choices, but right now, because of our situation in the world, you can do premium for free. So sorry, Jessica, you paid for it. We can all get it for free right now. So let's dive into sign up details. So it's really, really easy. You can just type in Kahoot, and from there you just start your account where you're gonna, it's gonna ask you for, I'll show you right here. Let's see. So it'll show you this number 1, the login page, which is really funny. So if you don't use your Google account, you put in, sign up. So when you sign up, it takes you to, I want to use Kahoot. So you choose one of these 4 choices, and then it takes you to the screen again, which comes back to Gmail or Microsoft or a new account. Thought that was kind of funny. That goes kind of round circle. And then we are going to go to, so helpful extras that I learned about Kahoot. Tips for use with distance learning. So Kahoot has, I think, done a really good job with taking the situation that we're living in now and catered to teachers and even businesses or families that want to do a little extra either in their class or at home or in a meeting. So what I've done is each one of these little bullet points has got a link to it. So all the colors are linked. So if I take distance learning, and I click on that tab, it's going to take me right to, give me 1 second, and I linked it to a PDF where it just gives you the whole rundown of what you can do with distance learning for yourself and your students. I want you guys to go through this. I won't go through it with you right now because there's a lot to it, and I have a couple of these, but I felt this was really helpful and really informative for our situation and with what is going on. Oops, hold on. All right, I'll just take you through here. Here's what I was talking about. So now when we go to setting up the account, after you've signed in, it'll ask you to do basic, pro, and premium. From what Kahoot is saying, premium is free for educators, and I think that's a great thing. I think what I would do as an educator right now is I would do the premium, get as much things as you can so that it's stored and saved. I don't know how they're going to translate after, but as long as you can get your premium and get what you can out of it while it's free, I think that would be ideal. And if you go further down this page, it gives exactly what you can do with premium as opposed to basic and pro. So premium really offers you a lot of extra tools that you would not normally get with a basic account that's free. So just taking a look, like with premium, you can add answers for pre-readers and math students. So there's a lot of little details in Kahoot right now that there's almost too much to list, kind of like how Pear Deck was. It's just amazing what how you can use it and what you get out of it. Obviously, with premium, you get more options to track your students' work and keep that. As far as the basic, you just get a basic run of like what your students are doing. If I click back here, let me go to, I clicked on features. I think this is important as well. Kind of gives you a rough idea of how it works and then what you can do with it. So you can host live meetings, games, you can create games, quizzes. And then here's the feature overview, which is great. So it's creator features, gameplay. Again, there's so many that you can list. And I believe from what I noticed is the blue ones are the basic. And then I think the little crowns would be what you'd have to pay for. But you can still do a lot with the basic if that's what you want, depending on your class load. And then I have linked the premium is free. We'll check that out really quick before we get in. And if you go through Kahoot right now, everything is geared to like, check us out, start using this because it's free and it's a great tool for everyone. And I like that about that. I didn't think right now. So this is what I thought interesting, digging deeper. If you have a lesson and you need something, National Geographic has got pre-made Kahoots, which are fantastic. So it changes it up, and that's the deal with Kahoot. There are tons of resources where if you need to grab a quiz and you don't have time to make it, there's probably something that covers what you're already going to be teaching. I love animals and National Geographic, and I felt that this was a great resource, and you know it's going to have amazing pictures, and the kids will really be involved in it. So we'll go back to this, and I thought it was kind of cool too, as I'm giving you a little bit of a tutorial, Kahoot made a great one that will lead from this into a game that I made with you guys involved. So let's watch this really quick, please, if it loads.
Hi, we're Kahoot. We're on a mission to make learning awesome. Game-based learning platform is used by millions of people all over the world. Teachers, students, company employees, and lifelong learners. Kahoot makes it easy to create fun learning games or trivia quizzes in minutes, anytime, anywhere. We call them Kahoots. It works for any subject, in any language, on any device. You can also discover and play existing games. There are millions of Kahoots in our library. Kahoot can be played in a live setting, with questions on a big screen, or on your mobile device, where you see questions and answers on one screen. As well as in schools, Kahoot is played in companies, at events, and even parties to make learning awesome. Sign up today at kahoot.com. Let's play.
So that's the last part. I want to get you guys into playing a Kahoot, but I just want to show you, I have a basic account. Once you sign up and you get into your account, your main page will most likely look like this. I don't know what yours looks like, Jessica, if it's similar or not, but It's to the far right, it says My Kahoots. I have about 8. And then you can create more, you can add interests. It's really user-friendly. Top picks, you can choose if you want random quizzes. It's fantastic. Every little thing they have is situated right at the click of your mouse. So with that said, I'll go to My Kahoots that I've made. And we'll be ready to play here. So, sorry, mine's taking a little bit of time. And so these are a couple I made. I found one. What's cool about Kahoots is if you get a pre-made one, you can actually copy it and add to it. You can't change their questions, but you can add on to them if you like, or you can take some of the content and make a whole new one. I've used that feature quite a bit. Sorry. And then, so let's get into playing the one I made for us. And so as you're in Kahoot, you play one, you hit the button play. It'll say teach or assign. We're gonna teach, because that's what we are. We're teachers and we have fun. And then it comes to this. It's really straightforward. If you want a team mode where a couple are playing together, or it's one-to-one. Right now we should all have one-to-one devices. And I'll hit the classic game. And then, so what I need you to do is go to kahoot.it and type in that code. It should just be like a box where it says enter PIN. And then for this is a tricky thing with some of the students. It's best if you let your students know ahead of time to just use their real name so that you can actually track their progress and their assessment. Maybe that you can have a time where you can have silly names, but I think to keep track of assessments and student learning, it's best to have them use their regular names. Is everybody okay? I'm still missing. And also, if somebody does a silly name and it's not their name, you can immediately go over it and then erase it. So that's it, right? 7 players, or no, one more. Dina's, Shireen, we're waiting on you.
Yeah, something's not right.
No? You want to just, can you watch it, Shireen, from the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready? How well do you know your class? I've been paying attention, have you? Who did a Zoom meeting in a car?
Got it.
And they're very interactive, so I can put a picture from the web, from my computer, and drop it in there, as well as a couple other features that you'll see further on. And you can change the amount of time and the point system. Somebody put blue. And then it scores. This is where the students love. They want to see who's on top, and it's very competitive, so you do need to watch that in your class. I am over, but I'm sorry, we're playing a quiz and you have to know your friends. Do you recognize that school, Dina?
Yes,
oh boy,
I
you know
do.
our classmates very well. This is surprising. All right, I'm gonna go faster through this. Does anybody recognize this restaurant? They said it was famous in Egypt.
Samiha.
All right, we're going through it quick because of time.
Who's the next? Oh.
I was so sure you're gonna hold that.
I had to. There we go. No one forgot that one.
Yay!
All right, the last one's a fun one. Get the little play on words there.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, my class is doing so well now. 2 in a row. And I did add somebody else to this. Maybe she'll get the reference. I wrote it in a comment as well. I'm sorry I'm over, but I'll take the hit on over for.
Oh.
Wait, watch the video, please. Watch the video.
Oh God.
So
Oh my goodness.
this was the closest thing I could get to somebody being on a chair and jumping off. So very good class. Thank you. So it's very cool and user friendly. Let's see who came on top.
Of course, Dina did?
I don't know. Oh,
Ah.
sorry, Samiha.
8 out of 8.
That's because my internet is slow today. Otherwise, I would have made it.
Fooled you guys.
All right, there we go. So that was Kahoot and just the new age and time with, I don't know how to get out of here, to be honest.
At the top of the screen, it'll say stop sharing.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Thanks for playing. And just so you know, I want to add one more thing. So on that quiz, you can also, I was going to try to do a live one with you with like another answer. We can just keep adding on to it. And there's different ways that you can do true, false. There's all different options. Premium, I learned, I've never had the opportunity, but premium, you get a couple more choices. So if you can do premium now for free, use it and grab what you can and just keep it in your Kahoot account. And then that way you have the benefits later. But thank you.
Yay, thank you very much, Travis. That was
Awesome.
fantastic.
Like double Dina.
Okay, Shireen, you're next. Do you have anything that we need to do to prepare?
Nope.
All right.
Not going to be half as engaging. Okay, it's let me try to set the screen here. Does everybody see the screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
There
Okay,
we
do
go.
you see it now?
Yes, right, reader.
Okay. All right. All right. So I was looking for a platform that I would find useful, I presume for myself, because I'll be teaching grade 2 next year. And it's my understanding that the early years and all the way up to like grade 2 or grade 3, it's really important to focus on building the literacy skills, the reading and the writing. So I was searching for something that I would use and find practical for my purposes. And there's no reason why it can't be used for teachers all the way up to grade 5, I would presume as well. And that platform that I discovered was Right Reader. It's not a new platform, it's been around for some time. What it basically is a book creating web, an iPad tool that allows students to develop their reading skills by writing and self-correcting their own digital stories. It mainly targets K through 5 grades between the ages of 4 to 10, but I see no reason why it couldn't start as early as 3 and go all the way up to 12-year-olds. It's completely free. It's a web-based and it works on the latest versions of Chrome, Safari, and Firefox, and all desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. So in 2018, the company made some changes to make it a little bit more user-friendly. It has a better student overview now so that you can click on each student in the program and you would be able to see the books that are created by each one. It has improved audio recording and image capturing features. Students will be able to rearrange their book pages now and change the order through a multi-page presentation. They don't just have to go page by page. They can actually see the whole layout and rearrange the pages as they wish. And it's very easy to share. It just one click away, there's a link box at the top. All the students have to do is once they have completed their digital book, they'll just press on that link button and it's one click away. And they can share the link with their teacher. They can share the link with other students. They can share it on social media. on Facebook, on Twitter. The idea is that they feel proud of their work because they are now feeling like they're authors and they've produced their own books and they're proud of it, they're motivated, and now they want to share it with the whole world. And also the privacy is really good on this platform because only users with this link will be able to read the books. Usually privacy can be an issue in some of the platforms that I was going through. What are its uses? Many, many uses for this. Students can create stories about topics in science and social studies. I really see the use of it in science, for science projects. A great activity or project for small groups, like after a literature unit, if they're writing something, a folk tale, or if they're writing a poetry piece and they want to collaborate together and put that together, it's wonderful for that. It can be used even at a very basic level to practice sentence writing with small illustrations. Student can actually draw on a piece of paper and then take a photo and then download it onto the page and write their illustration. So you can take it from a very basic young age all the way up. They can start searching for something more complex on the internet and then projecting that picture on their page and writing about it. It's wonderful for ELL students because there's a feature on there where they can actually hear the letters when they're typing. They can hear the letter or the letter sound, depending on how they move the button. And I'll show you that in a minute. It's wonderful, as I said, for collaborative projects and activities. And I'll show you quickly, the first link I have here is for 2 ELL students. These are some kindergarten kids and they're using it to write out simple sentences.
I like the collaboration.
Irina, I don't see a video.
Yeah, we can't see anything. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just the same slide.
Okay, one moment.
G S D
Do you,
K.
okay, do you see it now?
You can see it right there.
Do you see it now?
Not yet. Esther
Not yet.
says that it can minimize.
It's because you're sharing this, the PowerPoint.
How about you escape it?
Okay, one moment. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's do it again. So what do I need to do now?
I think you should unshare and then share the desktop and not the application PowerPoint. Do you understand what I mean?
Share.
And when you share your desktop, anything that's presented on your desktop, not a certain application.
Well, now I'm on my desktop right here, but I wanted to share open the link to show you the link.
Okay, just escape and go back to, I think you know what I mean?
What about copying the link and just dropping it into the search engine?
Okay, one moment.
The YouTube link.
Can you minimize the presentation perhaps?
Okay. Now, do you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, all right. So these are 2 ESL students and they're collaborating together on writing just very simple sentences with illustrations.
I G S D is K. You can't even see it right there.
Okay. All right. Oops. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I haven't seen Peppa Pig in a long time.
Okay. All right. Okay. And now I wanted to show you the next one. which is just a collaborative effort between the teacher and the students, or it could be students together. Okay, do you see that now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just an example of a book that was put together by the teacher with the students. It could also be students together. They could all author the book together. And this is an informational style book, like an informational text. So here they just collaborated together to write about cascarones, which is Spanish for eggshells. And they created a project, they took pictures. And then if you notice here under each page, the student writes their names right here, and then the teacher has a spot where she can correct what they had written. And when they actually publish the book, they can publish the book either with their writing alone or with an added teacher comments down below, or teacher conventional spelling as she wishes. So I'm just taking you through here. Okay. Were you able to see that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Great.
we can.
I thought the connection left for a second there. All right. So that's just to show you how it can be used for ESL and how it can be used for collaborative projects. Sorry. And I will take you through a quick tutorial to show you. Do you all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the slide that says what is it?
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. If I open a class here, okay, I wanted to show you, for some reason, I'm trying to get out from, I wanted to get this, oh, okay. I just wanted to show you that I will log out just to show you how we can start. So if you enter the platform itself, you sign in, and then you'll get this box. You will select if you're the teacher, you just click the button over here. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And then, okay, and then all you need to do is insert your Google account. Worthy of mentioning is that this is synchronized with Google Classroom as well. So you can write in your Google account and it will import all your information, your personal information and your student information, and send it into Google Classroom. So, oops. Okay, and then once you log in as the educator, you will automatically get here. I already set up 2 classes, but you will get a code, and this code you will save to give to your students. You will then be queued to enter the names of your students. So I here created everyone's names as if you are my students for that particular class. You will select a username, a very simple username for each one of your students, and it should be simple so that it's easy for them to remember. Give them the username and give them the class code, and that's all they need to enter into the platform. And just worth mentioning is once you've selected these usernames, you can't change them. So you have to be very careful when you're selecting to choose ones that are easy. Okay, now just to show you, I will open one of the classrooms that were prepared. I prepared, the teacher can prepare, she has the choice of making her own books just like the students to share with her students, or her students can do it alone. So as you can see here, your names are listed, but nobody has actually published a book yet. I published a book here to show you, and I'll use that as an example. So here, you would get first a cover page that's not filled, of evident, obviously, you would have to first click on the right to edit. You can change the color of the cover, make it any color you wish, green, yellow, any color. And then you write here, I will assume that this was empty and I will write for you. Kindness. All right. I wanted to show you the option, the sound option. So for example, if a student were writing, it would sound like this.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, that's one option, is to hear the letter sounds. The other option is the letter names.
N D E S S.
I wrote it wrong.
N E S S.
All right, and then you write the author's name down below. And then here you have a selection. You can choose from any of these options on top. You have an image bank that's built into the platform. You can search for an image off of the internet. You can use your camera roll, or you can upload if you have anything that's been ready made on your files, in your files. You can take pictures in the classroom and upload them and then use them later. And then I'll show you the next page. Oh, just to show you first, how you enter, to get the next page, all you would have to do is press on this plus button and it'll take you to the following page. But for some reason it's, oh, there we go. Okay, that's if I wanted to create a new page, but since we're not going to create one, I've already created one for you just to show you another feature here. I uploaded a picture for you here, which is a frog, and then there's this bubble option. And on any picture, that when you upload any picture that gives you this bubble option, you can write inside the bubble option whatever you want, and then you just click save. You can also, you have the feature, the audio feature, so that you can, after you've typed, you can record your the child can record their voice.
I am green.
So that they can hear it when they're going through the book. They can push on the button, they can hear and read at the same time. If you've noticed here, the student has written in the sentence wrong. The teacher has the option of coming down here and correcting the mistake for him or her. And once they're finished, all they need to do is, it goes automatically, it gets sent automatically to the bookshelf, the class bookshelf up here. And, oops.
Do you get notified? Sorry to interrupt. When they create one.
The teacher gets notified, yes.
Can we see how it looks like if you were to print it out?
The printing option and the it's you can, with a fee, you can actually have these books printed out in hard copy.
But I mean, if we were to print them out for our class, like create our own classroom library based on other students, you know,
you would
stories.
just, if you would just do it like this, or you can have it printed out, hard copy, the company itself would print it out for you if you send them the link.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That's
then
nice.
Yeah, and then here you can have, you have a choice when you come to print, whether you want to include, if it's just adult writing, of course you're not going to put yours alone, but you can remove your adult writing. So when this gets shared with parents or with other students, it's, you know, the child, their corrections are not there that you've made for them.
And this is a free tool?
And this is completely free.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. It's
Does it allow other languages? Sorry to interrupt. We're so excited to know more about it.
Yeah.
It allows Spanish and Dutch.
Okay. So all Latin letters.
Yes. And then here's the link option I was telling you about. It's very easy. It's usually off. All they have, the student has to do is turn it on, and then the book link gets copied to the clipboard, and then it can get sent out through email, what have you.
Shireen, when you're
Yeah.
on the other page, when you're doing the title, can you go back to that really quick?
The title page, sure.
Yeah.
Right here? Mhm.
That one, yeah. So when you are in it to where you can write kindness, edit the
Yes.
book, I have a question. Can you
Mhm.
actually speak the title then? Because it has that little microphone. Is that what that's for? Because that would be kind of fun too for the kids to be able to say it if they don't know the right words.
Yes, yes,
Okay, cool. That's all. I just want to make sure. I think that's a great option too.
yes. Mhm.
Mhm.
The only problem that I found with this is that it doesn't allow sharing, like two students can't be in on the same book working on two separate computers at the same time on the same book. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
So they can't edit.
It's not a shareable like document like Google Docs.
Yes, yeah. That's the disadvantage in my opinion for like collaborative work. However, they would have to decide on who's going to do what and then work on the book. But they cannot share it on their computers together and then work individually at separate times, editing it at separate times. If that's clear, if I make myself clear.
So they have to work on the individually on different books if they want to, and then they can share the different books, but they cannot share the same book.
They can share the same book if they decide how they're going to collaborate on it. So maybe one student can design the cover, one student can write the information on the first page. Now, mind you, all the pages go up to 40 pages. You can write up to 40 pages each book.
What if
So
you
collaborate in that regard?
What if you created an account, like if you have like 20 students and then you create 5 additional accounts, and those 5 additional accounts would be group 1, group 2, group 3, group, and so on. And then you would give this group of students the username and the code, and perhaps maybe they can access the same account on different computers at home. Do you know what I mean? And then
Yes,
so
that would be maybe a good way to circumvent this problem, Dina. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah. So, and that's basically it. Does anyone have any questions?
Shireen, I'm going to jump in and just say, for just the clarity of time for the presentations, I stopped your presentation time when we started our question and answers, just so that that's clear for everybody in the class. And then following up, those were such great questions. I would love it if you could do that, because you have this group that you've created for us. Can you go back in and create a new group, share with us the link, and that way we can see if we could all work on a project like Dina suggested, and that way we'll know that that option exists if we're going to use it in our classroom.
Sure. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Shireen, for such an amazing tip.
Thank you, darling.
Okay, and we are going to just scroll right, like keep moving straight through and get Rabab ready to start her presentation. Is there anything that we need to do before you begin?
Nope.
All righty.
Okay.
Sorry that I pushed the time on everybody.
You're good.
No worries.
I did too. So.
All right. Sorry to be the fourth one. You guys are all collapsing, I guess. Can you see my screen now? I don't know if I should
Yes, you do.
add a full screen. Yes. All right. So today's my project is about a really nice tool, an online platform which is called Edpuzzle. Maybe some of you are aware of it. I've discovered this tool a few years back when I was living back in Dubai. I was in a regular school in one of the conferences. And when I first heard of it, it was really interesting. But obviously, being in a normal school wasn't, the easiest way. Knowing, the limitations of devices and internet access and stuff. And surprisingly, not too long ago, I was reminded by one of my friends about it. And it's actually a perfect tool for online teaching. So let me tell you a little bit today what is Edpuzzle, how it can be used, some of the pros and cons. And before the pros and cons, I'll take you through it very quickly, and I'll give you a very brief reflection on it. Okay, just to begin with, what is it? Can you still see my... Okay, let's just make it this way. Yeah. So how does it work? Basically, you get through all the videos that you want in the world. You've got access to so many videos, and you can just utilize it for your teaching by editing it in simple ways, and include that your student data, how they're going to respond to it. What you need to do is just choose the video or upload your own, add some of the questions embedded onto the video. I'll show you how to do that in a bit, and assign it to your class or students and see how they progress with it. One of my issues with online teaching is that for high school students, and I've been doing that for quite a time, some of my online high school students won't be attending my classes. And I use a platform which is, you guys are all aware of, it's Canvas. And for some reason, I just can't tell if they've been attending my recorded lessons or not. I can just tell how much time they've spent on Canvas, but I can't really know if they've actually watched it. I don't know if Jessica knows more about it. I've been using Canvas for the past year. So basically this tool would just help me out, make sure that they can actually access the video itself. So what can you do on Edpuzzle? You can find a video or upload your own. So you can find a video, whether it's like a documentary that you want to, add it as one of your resources, but you don't just want them to watch it. You want them to, interact with it. You can crop it if it's too long. You can just take a bit of it. Okay. You can add your voice at some of the points, like notes, and you can embed questions. Okay. Now, for using it, you've got 3 options like any other website. You can either get the basic one, which makes you have up to 20 videos of your own. If you refer to a colleague, they get you like 3 extra ones. You can create, all the basic tools like getting to do the interactive videos, adding questions, notes, audios, and stuff. The Pro Teacher, basically the only difference is that you just get unlimited number of videos. So I don't find a big deal about that, honestly. And then basically the interesting part is about if you have a learning management system in your school, is for you basically to embed it within it. And the good thing about it is that as I use Canvas, I used to use Blackboard before, so that was also relevant. You guys might be using Google Classroom. You guys can hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I just felt, I can't see you guys. So I've been using Blackboard, Canvas, and PowerSchool. So all of this is just easily integrated with that. How can you integrate it? Basically, I'll let you know in a bit. Why is it so important to use videos, and what's the addition for you guys to use videos? Basically, 65% of students are more visual learners. 95% of students watch YouTube regularly. I don't think anyone would doubt that or question that. And basically, videos are a powerful resource, but it can be difficult to make sure that they've actually watched it all, or they actually grasp the content. Okay. So let's check it out. Okay, let me just take you through it. Now, one of the bad things about the fact that I've used it long back is that I had all the content that I used on my old school email. Now, not having that makes me not have so much of content, but let me just take you, okay, so I was trying to log in with a regular account other than the one I have, just to show you, just to take you through how to, open up a new one. So, okay, I chose a different email other than my school email, and it gives you the choice of choosing your school name. So I'll just write the same name of my school, just to let you know, Academy Middle East, because basically it knows where it is. And then it will just tell you all the relevant stuff, whether it's in your country or if there are other teachers using it. Okay, let me just find that school. Doesn't seem like they know it. Okay. And then you get to choose the type of, content you want. I usually put history and social studies. Okay. And then you just join it. Yeah.
Just so you know, my screen says, let's check it out. I'm not seeing anything that you're typing right now.
Same here.
Okay. So all this time you guys weren't seeing that. Okay. So let me just...
I think it's the same issue Shireen faced, that you need to share the desktop.
Okay. All right.
So if you go up to the top and stop share, then when you share again, you'll have the option to share your desktop.
Okay, I am on desktop. Does that show now? Do you see this now? Is it? No?
I go ahead and yep. There we go.
Okay. So, you get to choose your school, your subject. You just go on edpuzzle.com, okay? And for some reason, it won't move on. Okay. Right, it wants me to join a school in Mauritius. Obviously, with my IP address, it won't let me. Right, let me just use my regular account and I'll just take you through it normally. Okay. You still can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Just let me out. Seriously. Yeah, sign in. Okay. I'm a teacher. You can use your Google account again. It's quite useful, especially for Google Classrooms. Okay, so I got to choose this one because I haven't used it before. Okay, it will take me back to that same thing. Okay, you just write the name of your school. Normally it should get all of them, but because my internet isn't so great today, it should actually give me an option. Okay, Dubai, UAE. I think that should work. Right, forget it. We'll go back again. Sorry for that. Let me out. Login, teacher, and then that's the account I've been using, my school account. Now, once you get in, since I chose the content as being history or social studies, you'll get that on your screen. Now, the cool thing about it, as I told you at the beginning, you get access to so many videos, all the YouTube videos that you want. You get the Edpuzzle content, which I'll show you in a bit. You got Khan Academy, TED Talks, National Geographic, so many of those things basically. And just because my school showed being in Dubai, they will show me all the trending videos of all my colleagues in Dubai. So that's an interesting one as well. All the other ones in the UAE and so on. Basically, as a teacher, you create your own classes. The good thing is that from your account, you want to sync it with your school. So basically, you get to choose your school. And by that, you get to choose your learning management system. So I got to choose Canvas. And the best thing about it, you just copy this into Canvas or whatever you're using. And everything that you view or anything that your student is using comes directly into your learning management system. So you don't have to go back and forth between the two platforms, okay? So back to my account. You go to the content. So for instance, if I'm looking for a video about, I don't know, turtles, which is so irrelevant to any of the thing that I would be teaching for any reason. And then you choose this YouTube video, okay? Now, some other teachers might have used this video. So you might go down and find that other teachers have chosen this video and actually they've used it in their teaching. So you've got this teacher who used it and they've added 7 questions, another one who had just one question. So you might choose to look at that, okay? You open it. So the cool thing about it is that it's not just that they're going to watch the video, they're going to watch the video and then you're forcing them to interact with the video in a way that at some point they'll come across all this point and then a question will pop up. A question will pop up and then they're going to ask it could be a multiple choice, an open-ended question or just a true or false. So in that case, I'll have to answer this question. And then because I'm a teacher, I can skip it. But the good thing is that you can set a feature in it that you don't want it to be skipped. So you're forcing them to watch the whole video and you're forcing them to go through all the questions that you've added to them. Okay? Now, when you go to your grade book, normally it should sync with your school. So I didn't have many, but basically it will show you, the students that had how much time they spent on it, which of the assignments you've assigned have they done or not. Usually they'll tell you like out of the questions, how many have they got right or wrong, and you can export all of that, for your grade analysis. So that is kind of it. There's another thing I want to show you. Okay. Edpuzzle itself, they offer really nice content. So it's really organized. You can, there you go, curriculum. Okay, you can choose curriculum. So other than, YouTube, which is like really confusing, using so many things, and it's not really academic. You can use other stuff like National Geographic, but this content or this curriculum tab will just give you content that is relevant to elementary school or middle school or high school. So if you look at middle school, you'll get all the different subjects, and then you just open up any of those. For example, for example, social studies. Okay, and you get to use, I don't know, history. Okay, and choose any of those topics. What you can do is once you take that, you choose, for example, ancient world, and it will take you on and on and on until you find the relevant video that you want. You would open it, and then you find it nice. Okay, what will I do with this? I want to have it. So I'll copy it, okay? I'll copy it into my content, okay? So I'll go onto my content and I'll find my classes, okay? You find the videos that I chose, for instance, you just check it and then you could assign it to other people, okay? You see that link where you can just tick it to prevent skipping, okay? So that's a very important tool, okay? So let me just close that. Back to this. Can you see this? Can you see my my slides?
Let's check it out. That's what it's on.
Yeah, so going on to the pros and cons, I find it very useful for flipped classroom if you can send them a video in advance and they can just check their understanding by, taking on the questions. So you can give it, you have an idea in ahead if they understand the topic. Students, they can benefit themselves, before starting the lesson, if they need to pay attention based on what they've received as a result or what they need to work on. Teachers can easily access it, especially if they can sync it with their learning management system. And the coolest feature, honestly, is the skipping thing that you just don't let them skip it. Imagine yourself, you're recording a video, and obviously you can do the same thing to your class recordings, okay? You can just upload it and then just stop it every few, parts of your lesson and make sure that they're following up and ask them those questions. But how do you make sure that they're not, obviously, if you don't actually ask them those questions and force them to do it? The cons of it, if it's not an online class, you have to make sure that kids have internet accessibility, they've got resources, they've got devices and stuff. I thought maybe adding a script feature would be beneficial for, people who would prefer using it with the text. The bad thing as well is that you cannot you cannot download the content. It cannot be downloaded. So if you've prepared all of this, you've edited, you've done all the questions, you can only keep it online on that platform using that same email. So if for some reason you stop using that email, you use all the content that you've been using. Another good thing about it is that you can create it and use it, whether it's your content or other people's content, so it's convenient. Students themselves can create their own work on that platform. They can create their own videos, they can embed questions as well, and they can sit on the other side of the platform and be the ones who create content and work collaboratively, and make sure that they actually make sense with what they're doing, okay? And see how much people will be understanding from the videos that they create. So it's a nice tool also for creating collaborative work. You've got a wide range of resources, which covers all cultures and languages, obviously, since you've got YouTube, so you've got everything for everyone. However, the bad thing about it is that obviously YouTube, you will not always get credible videos, and the content may not be always suitable for what you want. So you have to check that out, or maybe you have to restrict students from using all the engines. There's no communication platform on over there, so you cannot message them. Students cannot comment on the videos or add a comment or anything, so that is missing as well. If you add an audio note, it's not always the best quality if you hear it back. And open classes, which is another option when you don't have a Google Classroom or you're not syncing it with any of LMSs. The grading isn't as accurate. You don't get to see it all. So basically what I take on from that platform is that it actually promotes connectivism. Obviously in the digital age that we're living in, we need more technology to be embedded in all students' teaching and learning. It's a two-way thing where students can create their own content and teachers can create their own content. So basically, I would say that it's suitable for all ages, okay, as long as they are, technology literate in that sense. For myself, it will work on improving my low attendance for higher grades and make sure that they've actually accessed the videos, okay? And hoping to, present it in a more interesting way. So thank you for watching, and I hope you Edpuzzle soon. Any questions?
Thank you.
Sorry for being long. So I'll just stop sharing. How do I stop sharing again? Okay.
Jessica, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Thank you. I would have gone on and on.
If everyone's free, I'd rather just go ahead with it. It's short. It's not too long. But if everyone's tired, I'll just wait till tomorrow. But I know I'll be thinking of it all day. So.
So Asma's preferences today, if you're available to stay today, give me a thumbs up. Keep your thumbs up until I say okay, because I'm looking at everybody. Awesome. Okay, good. Asma, if you can give me just a quick second, I'm gonna send a message to my school and let them know that I will join them in just a minute, 10 or so.
Yeah. Yeah, we can just stand up for a second and shake our arms and legs. Get ready. So you're excited about this?
Good call.
I mean it.
That's the kindergarten teacher in you, Asma.
Okay.
Somebody didn't want to get out.
I did need that. Thank you, Asma.
Take 3 deep breaths, please. Oh. That's the second, huh? Okay. And if you can all just, for prior knowledge before we start, if you can just all write down what's your preference when you want to share videos with your students. Is it Class Dojo? What exactly do you like to use now, right now? So I can collect this information for later on.
Oh, in the chat box?
Yeah, in the chat box. What's your preference? Because that's what I'm sharing today. I'm sharing a new app that I really like. So if you can jot that down till Jessica is available.
Do you mean like for homework, or as an app that we use in class or at home because of the situation?
No, you can, whatever, both, because we're not going to stay at home forever. So like in class, we use Class Dojo, for example. What do you use? I just like
Seesaw.
What?
Seesaw.
Oh, Seesaw. Okay.
Do you want one or multiple ones? Like, do you want my favorite?
Your favorite. If you have more than a favorite, then I'd like, because I'm gonna take note of these and make sure I just check them out too.
Okay. Should these videos be interactive, or like the kids watch and respond to questions, or just watch the video? That's it. Like, is it used as a formative assessment?
Interactive.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Professor. That was a great time filler. Thank you.
Okay. When you're ready to start, and thank you so much for all of your brainstorming. Okay, so I see someone's already using something that I'll present today, Flipgrid. Thank you, Julie, Lisa, Edpuzzle. Okay, so you're already using a lot of very interesting ways to share videos with your friends, with your students and colleagues. Professor, when you're ready, we start. Jessica.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. I'll switch on my timer first. And I'll just share my screen and then switch on the timer.
Okay.
Now, how do I choose the desktop? Oh, okay. And start. So guys, this my choice for today. I'll just switch on the slideshow. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. For today, it's Flipgrid. I was challenging myself because I wanted to stay in my comfort zone and choose something that I already know how to use, but I decided that I'll choose something new. I'll keep the chat box. Okay, I'll close the chat box. Because it's good to discover and explore new horizons in teaching, and we all need that now for e-learning. So Flipgrid was what I prefer to use. Why? It's not a reading. It's not a reading app exactly, but it's an app to share videos and so on. I'll show you in a while. And I like engaging things. I get bored easily. I like seeing facial expressions, emotions. I think learning is about our whole body and soul. It's about our excitement. So Flipgrid was an amazing answer for this. I am so excited to use it with my kids. We have a holiday next week, so I'm just waiting, and I want to explore it more to use it next week when they're back to school, e-school. So Flipgrid, beyond the classroom, welcome to a social emotional learning system used by more than 20 million educators, students, and families worldwide. I hope you can hear me because I can't see anyone.
Yes, we can.
We can.
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly is Flipgrid? What am I excited about? Well, it's a social learning platform that allows educators to ask a question, then students respond in a video. Students are then able to respond to one another, creating a web of discussion. So it's as if you have an online WhatsApp, or it's a mix of everything that the kids already use. Mike at home, your students, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. It's like a mix of everything, and it's a really cool way to get them sharing their learning. This is how your main page should look like when you try to explore Flipgrid, because I'm one of the people who gets lost very easily. So I thought this would be very helpful for you. You're going to go to Educator, click here. You're going to go to Educator, sign up, and it's free. So we hate paying money, don't we?
Yeah.
So yes, it is now available to all teachers and students for free. I'm very happy with the COVID-19 pandemic because I think we're getting very lucky with all the websites that we can use for a year. Yes. So let's move on and see what can we do with the free things over here. The target audience are teachers. If you have a look on your left, you can use it to introduce topics for discussions, video diaries, to prepare newsletters, announcements. It's amazing. If you look on the right, you can use it with your students, can use it for introducing their own topics, for brainstorming and sharing their ideas together, for asking questions, for collaborating as teams, because they can share the videos and be very active together and comment on each other. They can share their stories too. Can you hear me, guys? Is the internet connection going well?
It's well.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Yeah? Okay. So how is it used then? A challenging yet never frustrating experience. It is the ultimate new fun teaching tool. As I said, I can't wait to use it. I'm going to send you this PowerPoint so you can explore more. But for now, Flipgrid promotes critical and creative thinking by sharing topics in fun, updated ways. Let's let go of all the boring essays and submissions. Let's allow link sharing. You can share links as teachers. You can share PDF files. You can share your own videos and just say good morning to your kids in the morning. So you're always there in their lives and you can wait for their interactive comments and videos all day long. You're just there. It also encourages cooperation and a positive class environment by allowing students to respond to each other. And I really believe in having an inclusive classroom. I'm always afraid of bullying happening in the class. So I think when students interact more, things get more positive later on. So one thing that I really like about that too is that we were talking earlier when we first started the course that some people can be dyslexic, some people can have problems or get headaches by reading a lot. You have here the option of listening to the text.
Flipgrid. Tap the green plus below to open the Flipgrid camera.
Look at that. So you don't even have to read if you're too lazy. Or if you have a headache, or you can't see the letters. You can just focus on the main icons to click on and just listen. I would choose the lazy option, okay? So, let's move on. Can students respond to each other on Flipgrid? Absolutely yes. Student-to-student replies allow students the opportunity to respond to their peers within a Flipgrid topic. If you have a look in the middle, there's the picture of all the kids. Of course, I didn't use it yet with my own, but here is the sample classroom, and the kids are all there. Their names are there. I can see a cat, I can see a dog, I can see a pool, and they're just sharing their information, their learning, their socializing skills with their friends anytime, all day long. Flipgrid is 100% free, and every educator can use the replies feature. So this is super cool. And I just want to help you because some people are more professional than I am with this. So I thought of sharing. Sorry, and here we are.
Head over to Flipgrid.com and create a free Flipgrid account with your Microsoft or Google email address. Once you've signed up, let's create your first grid. Your grid is your class. So
as you see here, your grid is your class. You're going to add your class name, and you're going to go to the school email. This is just a minute video.
Only mine, 6th grade reading. Select a grid type. I'll select school email, which will allow my students to access the grid using their school email address. If you're teaching younger learners without emails, you can choose the student ID option. Students do not need to create an account. They will use this code to access the grid.
Do you see this? You don't need your students to create accounts. You just need a code. So that's what I did with you in the morning. I shared the code, and I tried it with my daughter too. I'm gonna move on. And if you have a look here, there's another video, and this video is for students. It's a student guide, which you can share with your own students. Now, you're not my students now, so I'll just move on from that. But the good news for Anastasia and grade 5 Travis, because I've checked what you all teach in the different grades, this caters to everyone. From K to grade 12, it caters to university students, so even Professor Jessica can use it. How to use it? Launch the app, and this is for the people who like to read more. So you have the video guide, and here you can just follow the steps, launch the app, enter the grid, click the green plus point to add the response, and so on. So if you follow that, trust me, I'm so done with these things, and I could do it, so you can. I'll move on. Let's have a look at the reviews. I'll just read you one or two. One of the positive reviews that I've shared this from different websites. Flipgrid allows teachers to post a question to students on how they accomplished a particular task. This is important because it shows the students' process and also gives them an opportunity to teach others. Flipgrid also has a great feature that allows teachers to post their Flipgrids with the community. So you can share it with parents, with other teachers, and you can call the other teachers of Flipgrid the co-pilots. Now, some pros are there after all. Flipgrid can improve using mixtapes, and I'll show you what are mixtapes. I feel if it's not pointed out, teachers don't necessarily know how it could be done. However, I believe if you just watch this guide and Google it, it's very easy to use, and I'll show you how. You can have a look at all the cons later on, but I don't see it. Many people actually mentioned that there are no cons to using it. The score is 10 out of 10 actually on the review lists, so I would be a very proud user of Flipgrid. Now, I've added more things for you to use after the session too. Teacher tips for you, establish expectations, and so on. I've also added how to have the family engaged with Flipgrid. You can use QR codes or normal codes. And most of all, to control the class, tips for the kids. Emoji reaction guide. Everything has to be guided with the kids. You have to set your limits in the classroom. even if it's an e-class. And before you give a response, think. So these are two very important posters that I found online that I think I would love to use with my kids, and you would too. Establish guidelines, establish rules before you start using Flipgrid so it doesn't turn into chaos. Thank you. Now, before I end this completely, I just want to show you, 10 minutes. So I have a minute just to show you my, my Flipgrid. I'll use the extra 2 minutes that we have in the syllabus sheet. My activity here, and this I did my own. And if I move on, because there's something that's super exciting. I just want to show you that I tried it with my daughter. These are videos that I have already did. If I want to share a video that I did with you, I just copy the link and I send it to you on email, or you can just copy the link now and try it out. And here is my daughter. I used her, bad mommy.
I'm Shashma, and this is Sarita, and bye.
Hi and bye. I think she was bored. So let's go on. Here are the mixtapes where you add a new mixtape and you assign a new assignment where you type whatever the assignment. You can add here the description. The cool part is you have a password, so not everyone can access it except your students. And you can do here, you can here also add a new grid and share videos. You always use the school email. I know you can use the student ID, but use your school email, and then you're gonna have your code automatically appear. The coolest part that I'll end with, because I wanna end on a high note, is this cool library. Now this is for everyone to use. I know yesterday Julie was talking about Epic and I got super excited about it, and I wanted to share with you books. But instead, look at this. You can use all of these, more than 16,000 links that you can use on Flipgrid from other teachers who collaborated with you, all age groups. You can just click on any certain website that you enjoy, and you have things that are shared from other educators, such as kindness. And that's what I shared with you in the morning. You just go ahead and you assign it to your audience. You can explore it more. If you have any questions, refer back to me again. More than welcome. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you. Nice job.
Done.
You guys are amazing. I absolutely adore being a part of this class. Yay. Okay. So let me just see if anybody has sent any comments that I need to adjust. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So just to do a quick check-in before we depart for the day, the video from yesterday, I managed to save it as a YouTube, and it's set as a private setting right now, so only the people who have the link can view it. If at any point you guys as a class decide you want to make it a public sharing, bless you, Esme, and then we can change that. But right now it's just private for us in this class, and I'll do the same thing today and get you guys the links. Tomorrow we have our, and actually, hold on, I have to get my cat off my planner. So Sunday and Monday are our work days. So you do not have to be in class at all. I am going to open the session for anybody who wants to work together. Yes.
Did you say Sunday and Monday or Saturday and Sunday?
So today is Friday. Oh, it's Sunday and Monday. So we meet normally tomorrow.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, good. You guys help me get straight. Is that right? Tomorrow we meet normally. I can open my syllabus.
The thing is that we had class on Monday and we agreed we're gonna push it to 12 GMT because it's a national holiday.
That's right. Here, let me go ahead and open my syllabus just so I'm actually looking at our course plans while I'm talking. I'm not saying ridiculous things.
Asma, will you share some good recipes, please?
Okay, so here we are. Today is Friday. Okay, perfect. Saturday and Sunday this is when we are not meeting the next 2 days. I am opening the Zoom classroom, and then on Monday is when we agreed to change the time for when we're meeting. Yes? Do you have any, since this is an optional meeting time, does anybody have any preferences to changing the time when I open these sessions?
Oh, I mean, for us, I don't know. I was gonna suggest like if we want to push Sunday a little like forward so that if we work on, you know what I mean, like leave questions till the end. I don't know. No, that's fine. I guess it's fine. 2 is fine.
Okay, so keep this optional session on Saturday and Sunday opening at this time. Yes?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So for Saturday and Sunday, we're meeting at 2 as usual, or at our regular timings as an option. If someone has something to do or to finish their lesson plan, it's okay not to join, or to join for a small period of time and ask a question or two and leave?
Yes.
Okay.
So in this, what this would look like if I were there in Cairo with you, is these would be your days off where you're not coming to the classroom, but I am always available. I offer office hours on those days, and students would be getting together working on projects collaboratively on your days off. So this is kind of trying to create that sense of freedom, but also support.
Yeah. I have a question. As far as, I think I've turned everything in, will you be able to tell us before April 19th, just in case I might have forgotten like a reply or something?
Absolutely. So
okay.
What I'm doing is today is the last day that I'm teaching at my school. We have a week-long break coming up. So from today, like I'm going to go conference with my students as soon as I sign off here. And after that conference, I'm free of obligations for the next week, and my entire attention is going to be for this class and a little bit of time for my family. But you guys are going to start seeing a lot more communication from me, and I'll update everything. I'll check in with everybody individually about your projects and progress.
I wanted to ask what it is we're doing on Monday exactly. So we're looking at the mini lessons and we're applying them, like the small part of the lesson we're doing in class. This is what we're doing on Monday?
Yes. So just to be clear, that with your mini lessons, you're turning in the lesson plans sometime between now and Monday. So everybody should be checking their email, looking over the lesson plans that your colleagues have written, and familiarizing yourself with any assignments that they've given you, because they could be choosing, here, let me open the...
Where we all present on Monday?
So hold on for just a second. I just want to open the lesson plan document.
Bob, you're only presenting if you are choosing to do like it on Zoom for 10 minutes, or if you've submitted a video for what we need to do. Otherwise, it's the lesson plan, and then for us to do a mini lesson from that lesson plan.
That's very well articulated, Travis. Thank you. So if you are choosing option 1 and you create a video that could be viewed by your students in a virtual classroom, you will have shared that with us, okay? And if you choose option 2, where you assign us an activity from your lesson plan, you will make sure to include the actual resource that you want us to complete, and then we will complete that. So for these 2 things, choices 1 and 2, we will have done that on Saturday or Sunday. And then on Monday, the 10 minutes that are, or the time slot allocated for that individual teacher will just give feedback. For any teacher who chooses option 3, you will have time to actually present the lesson and activity that you've planned. Is that clear, Anastasia?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, so it is we give feedback through a rubric to each and every one of our classmates. And our attendance on Monday is just a matter of also giving feedback, or like, does it weigh something in our grade, the feedback we give in the session, or is it rather on a rubric?
The attendance on Monday is to participate in any of the live lectures is the main thing, and the feedback is an important component. If you're concerned that you're not going to be able to attend that lesson, then you can complete that feedback asynchronously and share it with me and the teacher who's giving the lesson.
Okay, and would that negatively affect the feedback part of the grade?
No. We've designed this so that if you are not able to make this live session, all of that work, all of it for any of the days, can be made up by doing other projects and interactions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to make it. I just may need to leave early for a commitment, which is why I tried to make class a bit earlier. I'm just making sure. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Does everybody feel comfortable with what we're doing? I will say that if we have a lot of people showing up to, in class for the optional meetings, I think it's a good idea that we start looking at the multi-genre research project, and we could just tackle that step of choosing what we're going to be looking at. So once you know your focus area, then you could start working on that independently. And this could happen in a simple Google Doc. And I'm going to put a note. I'm going to create a planning document. And
In
that
that case, you're recording a session, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so that way you can say, hey, I really want to be working on the preparation stage. I want to do that. With that being said, if two people were to work on the same element and present it in two different ways, it would be okay. I just think it would be absolutely fine. I do think that it would be a little bit more rich if everybody chooses a different topic. But if two people are absolutely in love with the same topic, it's going to be fine, and the information will be diverse enough on the same topic that you can do that.
Okay, so I guess we can finalize this tomorrow. Anyway, even if some of us did not attend, so we can fill in the Google form and just start. So we don't, because it's going to be right after the lesson plan. We will not have a lot of time to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, thank you very much for a great class, and I will be in touch with all of you very soon.
Okay.
Well, thank you for hanging out longer and putting your other class off.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Thank you so much. I'll share the PowerPoint on Google Drive by tomorrow morning, Max, because it takes time to upload.
Sure. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Have a good day.
You too.
I'm going to bed.
Sleep
Enjoy
well.
that.